thankfully will heal on its own. And as mentioned in the earlier press release, the vertebral fracture is very small. It's only to the wing of the vertebrae, and also will heal on its own over the next following weeks. So as far as the rib fractures.
In terms of the rib fractures, the whole goal of rib fracture stabilization is to expedite the recovery, get patients back to their activities of daily living much faster, which I think we've already seen. When I saw him in the preoperative area prior to surgery, it was really difficult for him to move around, cough, take a big deep breath, those types of things. Since that time, he's been up ambulating with ease, very frequently on the floor. I actually met with him yesterday and today, and he was eager to go home. He said he felt 100 times better, and he was very thankful that we were able to do this because he really honestly felt that he didn't know what he would be experienced if we hadn't stabilized his chest and restored a normal respiratory function for him.
Question that came in on Zoom from Josh. You mentioned he's looking forward to heading home. Can you provide more details? Will he be released today?
Yes, our plan is for him to be released today. He's definitely, like we said, eager. He's dressed and ready to go, so just a matter of time before we're able to get him out of the hospital with everything he needs, and the plan is to be released to his home with his family.
Can you talk a little bit about your nurses and your staff? What did they do for Christmas? Can you talk a little bit about how they spent Christmas?
Absolutely.
Well, I wasn't here with him on Christmas, but they definitely try to make Christmas a little bit more merry since we're in the hospital. We try our best to just make it feel less like they're in the hospital, and just make sure their family's all around. Yeah.
I was here on Christmas Eve, and yes, I would say the same. They were doing their best to keep the spirits high and really just spending time with each other. So a lot of phone calls, a lot of support for him.
As he mentioned, when he wants to get back on his horse?
He did, as I hear.
That was like one of the main questions that he asked me when I was talking to him in the preoperative area. So I think that he is eager to do that, but we'll see how things progress. Obviously, we want him to heal and make a full recovery before he does that again. So
we'd like to see some more recovery first, but do support getting back on the horse.
Do you think he will, as medical, do you think he will be in the legislature, the first day of the legislature session coming up here in about 2 weeks or so?
I would foresee yes. I think he's made, like I said, significant strides over the last few days, specifically after surgery. And so obviously want to give him time to regain his strength and to feel well again, but I don't foresee any issues.
Can you talk a little bit about how unusual that rib procedure is? I've heard that Nebraska Medicine does quite a few of these, and I just didn't know how unusual it is and what kind of benefits it offers.
yeah, so rib fixation has really become really getting a lot of popularity in about the past decade. It's gaining a lot of strides throughout the country and the world. We've been doing it regularly here since about 2016, and we actually have a dedicated program to this. We probably do about 120 to 150 rib fixation cases a year. And so I think that it's definitely provides a lot of stability to the chest and increases and expedites that recovery, prevents a lot of those complications like pneumonia, potentially winding up on a ventilator and other things. And so it is becoming more popular. I can say that it's only been around for really about a decade. And so it's still, in the medical realm, it's still a relatively new procedure, but definitely gaining strides.
Only other thing, sorry, in terms of falls and slips, obviously it's winter time. He's going to be walking across from the mansion, from the office every once in a while. With your patients who have these sorts of procedures, does it reinforce them a little bit in terms of re-injury risk or anything of that nature? What does it do?
No, it shouldn't help or shouldn't propagate a re-injury by any means. Hopefully it will help prevent that, make him more stable, less painful when he's moving around. And actually, most of the time when patients, if they are going to re-break their ribs, they actually don't break it over the area that we put the plate. They break it on either side of it. And so it actually creates a pretty solid construct.
You mentioned, I believe there were 9 plates with his surgery. Is that like a standard number? We were doing a little research yesterday. It seemed like 5 to 6 was pretty. So is that more than usual?
Yeah, I would say that it's more than usual. I would say the average is probably about 4 to 6 plates that we put per patient. That's usually the average number of rib fractures a patient has. Although they can have way more and they can have significantly less. He did have 2 ribs that were broken twice, and so we put 2 plates on those ribs, by definition known as a flail chest. And so that's why he got 9 for 7 ribs that were broken, but 9 plates total.
Any progress on the collapsed lung?
The collapsed lung has resolved. It usually resolves on its own. He had a pretty small collapsed lung. And then when we do the surgery, we actually put a little chest tube in there as well after we wash out the chest. And that has completely resolved it.
Going back to an earlier question about how the governor was transported, it was by helicopter. His office just confirmed that for me here. Thank you.
So I don't know if everyone heard that. Yes, he was transferred by helicopter through air. Any further questions? Any more online? No? All right. Well, we thank you all for this opportunity to update you as well as the public on Governor Pillen's recovery. It's been really our pleasure to be here to provide this service. It's what we show up for each day. So we appreciate everyone. Thank you.